let's go ahead and get started. So
Sounds good. I'm sorry, my computer or my video is not working, so I just have it off fully because otherwise it's just a black screen. So that's weird.
that works, Andy.
'Cause
We're
I was
good.
just on
We
a
can hear
meeting.
you. That's all that matters.
Perfect. I was just on a meeting 2 minutes ago and it worked perfectly fine.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to call this meeting to order. We'll have Neil take notes of all who are present. Neil was able to send out a number of minutes from past meetings. Betsy and Teresa, were you able to review those? Perfect. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I only had time to scan them, but I trust the information is accurate from what I did read.
Yeah, I'll move to approve the minutes that were included in our packet.
And I can
Perfect.
second.
Is there, all right. Any further discussion, changes? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. All right. Public appearances, Neil, anyone there that you know?
No,
of?
sir.
All right. Yeah, Carrie, you're with the application, so
Okay.
you're a part of that.
And Andy, thanks for letting me join. I was so happy that Neil invited me. So hi.
Hi. All right, and then we will move on. Sorry, I'm trying to. Yeah, we'll move on to the consideration or new. There's no old business, but the new business is consideration of. Well, first of all, any statement of potential conflict of interest by a commission member.
None here.
All right.
I think we're good.
Sounds good. We will move on then to, sorry, I'm cycling through a few windows here. New business, consideration, discussion of possible action of, this is our third quarter meeting. Our next meeting will be in October. So Silver Stage Invitational. Everyone is able to get that application. Hopefully everyone was able to review it. Since then, Neil has sent out kind of a staff report. He'll pull that slides up right now.
Yep, I can do that. Let's see here.
And if you have any, well, so before we start that, do you have a total of what we have in our account?
I do, Andy. It looks like as of this morning, it looks based on all our quarter 2 approvals, we have $251,290 available.
Okay, perfect. All right. If you want to take the stage and share a little bit about your recommendations, please.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, what I'll do is I'll probably just send it over to Carrie to do a quick overview of the application. I think many folks are already kind of familiar with this event. I'm just going to go in here. This is kind of what they have. This is the kind of shared. Whoops, there we go. So this is a multi-school invitational that occurs on an annual basis. It's been occurring for how long? I don't know. Carrie will probably be able to tell us how many times this has been around. It seems like it's been a very traditional, long time running event that does generate a significant number of hotel stays, at least 300 hotel rooms. I think that might even be a little conservative, actually, with the number of teams and things that we're talking about. In the past, this has just been folks who've just kind of, gotten hotels wherever they can in the area. I don't think there's been a super formal effort to do that. When we became aware of this event and the application that came in, obviously we can kind of give this as an opportunity for us to change that and at least start and focus on the local hotels to be the primary place and opportunity to maybe get bookings for those. So it's at least one overnight, at least a multiple day event for sure. So we took a look at the request generally for reimbursement, not really a lot of that we would look at generally as for reimbursement, just only the printing costs was only the marketing costs that really popped out as that. So we really felt the best way was to go with the sponsorship grant if we wanted to support the event. So we're going to look at really recommended awarding the requested amount of $30,960. And with that, if at the commission's discretion, certainly would forward any questions about the event specifically to Carrie, who's available to answer questions.
All right, well, pass it to Carrie. Do you have anything else you want to kind of bring out from the application? Any other history? I'm guessing it's been about 19 years. No, more than 19 years because it started the year after I graduated.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. I was understanding, I was gonna say decades in response to the question, because it has been around for a long time. There was a pause during COVID. And coming back out of COVID, we have not had as confident an approach in being able to break even. I mean, we're not really trying to make a lot of money on these kinds of things in the school district. We're trying to cover our costs. And whatever margin there is, when we are able to earn additional revenue, we fold back into the program. So we were just looking at this the last few years, and it's gotten more risky in the eyes of the folks planning this event to make sure that we can commit to doing it. And I'm volunteering now with the board for MG Sings. And when we looked at this, I said, gosh, what would we do if there was, you know, some interruption, and we've already got these costs committed. And we were really lucky the last time around that COVID hit in March and this event was in February. So it had happened, but we would be ruined if there was something that happened during the course where we'd already had the expenses and we had no way to recover the revenue. So this would give us a little more confidence going forward that we could continue to have this fabulous event. The students who participate in it just have an incredible educational opportunity. So in addition to the benefits educationally, it really lined up nicely, we thought, with the Monona tourism efforts, because we bring in thousands of people to Monona and they love coming to our comp and we get such positive feedback. So I'm excited to be associated with this. I wanted to continue, and I wanted in good faith to go back to our board and say, yep, we should commit to doing this again. So we have a little bit of sense of what rolling over from one year to the next, if we know that we're able to do this, because we don't have the foundation in place right now to be able to do that.
Andy, I would like to point out that this event is scheduled for February of 25, so we're actually well in advance of being able to plan for this, which is very, from a staff standpoint, is awesome. Gives us plenty of time and gives them plenty of time to make, you know, any sort of arrangements with the local hotels. We're definitely out in front on this one, so we feel like we've got a good amount of time to be in a good position to really make some impact with this one.
Neil, thanks
Awesome.
for that cue, because I hadn't even thought to mention to you guys, we haven't sent out packets yet to the coaches. But one of the parts of our outreach is to suggest what they might want to prepare for as they're coming to our competition. And we have an easy opportunity to suggest hotel blocks. We just haven't done that before. So I know I made a note for you in this application that last year when we were reaching out about sponsorships, that was the response from the hotels is, well, we could block rooms for your event and we can comp rooms for your directors. We're like, fantastic. We weren't doing that. And in the last 5 years, at least, that I had access to those records. So that's something we'd be excited to do, and we're going to do anyway. And it was through other conversations that I learned of this grant. We have a great timing to be able to be more intentional about that and to be more direct, because I think the leakage that we are seeing is people staying in Madison. Some of the groups might even be going as far away as the Dells, because there was no compelling reason for them to stay closer by. So if we can encourage them or incentivize that, I think that we'd see those hotel nights on Friday night and potentially Saturday night as well.
That's great. Question, Teresa?
Yeah, unless there's more that Carrie wishes to say, I do have a comment about the application. So as a lot of the other commissioners have been doing, I just went out and I Googled you up and I looked at what sort of marketing you're already doing. I found 3 websites. One is, I searched for the phrase MG space sings. I found 3 matches. One, MG sings, all one word, .weebly, WEEBLY.com. Fabulous information all about the Monona Grove Show Choir. Then I found your Facebook page called MG Sings, and then I found the MG Sings .org, which is a booster club. What I would like to see on at least one of these, whichever is the most public facing, in order to really qualify for a grant from the Tourism Commission, we need you to be promoting hotel stays in Monona. So in your application, I noticed that you wrote, let me just bring that back up. I noticed that you wrote something to the effect that if we receive this grant, then we would start to promote the hotels. Whereas it is actually the reverse. In
No,
order to,
actually, Teresa, no, the purpose of this grant is actually to get them to market the hotels. So that's actually, so it doesn't matter if they haven't done it to this point. We're paying them essentially to go forward in their future event to pay, that's what the actual grant is for. So.
that
whether or not they-
seems, that seems inconsistent with applications we've
I
reviewed in the past.
I don't think so. I think all of the other ones we've done a hotel sponsorship for have been for them to add that information on their website going forward.
I think some of the confusion might be some of the applications for like the runs we've done in the past. So they've
Yeah.
already had that information there.
That's true.
Some of which, maybe not all the hotels or the kind of the whatever you call Airbnbs. But yeah, I mean, as far as my understanding is, this is kind of moving into the future. We would require that if they receive this grant, that they would have to put the one condition of the contract they would have to
So
put the.
I think we're saying, what you just said, Andy, I think we're saying the same thing. We would require that.
Right.
That's what
absolutely.
I'm saying.
If they got
That's
the
what I'm
grant, yeah.
saying.
Going
It's like,
forward, yeah, I was just saying, I
Yeah.
just thought Alder, you were saying because they don't have it on there now that they don't qualify.
no.
Okay.
I mean,
No,
well,
that's how I
but
interpret it.
in theory, we're all saying the same thing. We're just saying it from a different direction. At the end of the
Yes.
day, MG Sings is going to need to promote the
Yeah.
hotels, no matter
Absolutely.
how
Yeah.
you start the sentence,
Yeah.
okay. So
I'm glad you
yeah.
brought that up, and I could absolutely commit to doing that. We just recruited a new parent volunteer. We had the Weebly site around since Jennifer Pickle had started it many, many years ago, if any of you knew when she was volunteering, because her name's on all this stuff. And we just moved it from the Weebly to a public Facebook environment. And so that transition, actually, we just launched in April. So as you said, a Google search, I thought, Teresa, oh God, what's out there still? Because, but as we're migrating 100%, it's easy for us to start intentionally promoting staying overnight in Monona when
I
people,
mean, just to put something like lodging,
you bet,
like to put a link for lodging would be great.
easy. And I'm happy to commit to doing that.
Which is what, in the past, applicants have come to us, and I know Colleen, Betsy and I are online as they're talking, and we're like, we're not seeing any, could you add, so yeah. All right, sweet.
So the Weebly page will not matter. Is that what you're saying? You're decommissioning?
Yeah, she was just Suzanne Warburg has been the person migrating our stuff. And it's sort of in the point now where I don't think we have anything on the Weebly page about the 24-25 season. We're finishing out the end of last year.
Correct. 23, 24, well, 23, 24, you're right. And I see some older faces.
Yeah.
Is that were in my daughter's grade? Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we intend fully to make sure that we still have a web presence, because we need to have something easily accessible for our sponsors, and in this situation for people seeking lodging, not just our internal, I hate to say it this way, but like the internal parent to parent communications and sharing photos from comps and that stuff. Like there was a little bit of a mishmash of what you would find if you searched for us. So they're going to leverage a little bit more intentionality of having internal groups that are, you join, versus public facing, available to anybody.
Yeah.
So we're on that path. mgsings.org you mentioned, I was like, oh, what's that one? So there might be even still some cleanup that I need to continue to do, but
That looks like the booster page.
okay. So, but on our public facing stuff, Teresa, yes, that's where we would have lodging and come to our events.
That was my only comment. That otherwise, I think everything looks fantastic.
And Alder, here, though, I just shared the screen here. This is actually the part of the grant agreement that specifically calls them printer digital file with information on hotel and short-term rentals, printer information with, posted on the event or the event facility, social media posts, website links. Yeah, so that's all as part of their grant agreement that they'll be signing as part of the approval. So just so you know that is a standard part of every grant agreement. So
sweet.
Yep.
Awesome. Betsy, do you have any other questions, comments?
I don't think so. It looks like you do charge for attendees, and then it looks like the proceeds then go back to the high school. Is that right? Or to MG Sings?
It's a combination of how they support the ticket sales at the door, because we don't have our own cash handling equipment. The school does that, kind of like a WIAA events also. But the ticket price, the conundrum we were in, other show choir festivals basically charge $15 and $20. There's not a lot of ability to raise the rates on that because people won't pay it. They'll look for the link online and they'll do other stuff. So we can't really raise the rates higher, but all of our expenses have gone higher. So the $20 rate at the door, I think we're sort of fixed there. And the cash from handling from that is managed between the high school and MG Sims. The budget behind the scenes is also complicated because they don't charge us back like a facilities rental for the custodial and stuff. There's other costs that the school absorbs by letting us use the facilities. So I know you know how that works, but we do charge there and we do charge for concessions. So the other thing that we were really excited about is bringing in more food trucks.
Yeah.
Because instead of the families prepping and serving the food, I think we can lean into local businesses. And last year we had a coffee truck outside, we had Chocolate Shop come in and do ice cream. I would like to continue to expand that because not only does it highlight the local businesses, but it's a better model because they can manage it better than we can
Yeah.
staff it.
And if you call on your parents to do too much, eventually they just can't be a part of it anymore. So it's just an accessibility situation then.
Awesome. Any other further questions or? I think this is great. Obviously, the devil's in the details as far as, you know, afterwards trying to work with hotels of seeing how many stays, et cetera. That's something all applicants always struggle with, but hopefully if the hotel's already shared an interest in kind of helping you out with this, hopefully they will be more than happy to kind of track that on their side and provide that data to you. So
Andy, I was hoping they would, and I was hoping they'd give us like a code so that
Yeah.
we can ask at the end for a report of who all used it. I know in my day job, working with the Hilton, they gave me an outcome of how many room uptake there was from using our booking link, and also how an additional percentage of rooms, they had 23 other rooms that they knew were for our conference because of people presenting their nonprofit information, like the tax exempt card when they got there.
Yep.
But they were booked outside our booking link. So I thought that's,
Yeah.
so I've had to do that recently. I'm hopeful that I can make that same kind of arrangement with the hotels in Monona so they can tell me exactly how many rooms that we used.
awesome. If you have any tips or tricks, let us know too, that we can pass that along to others.
Absolutely.
Well,
Awesome.
one tip we do is upfront work with the hotel. So we say, you know, we're expecting our guests to come in this day. Can you look at the people who stayed with you that night, and however many had an email address that was .with or at wisc.edu. Those are our people. I mean, so it's sort of a way to do it backwards also, like, well, who stayed with you on Monday night, November 19th? And I'm pretty sure most of them were going to be us. That's been how I've estimated in the past.
Gotcha. Is there a motion from the commissioners?
I just have a comment before we motion. I just want to make sure I have my information accurate and just to verify, the hotels that you would promote on your website don't necessarily, they wouldn't be classified as a sponsor. I mean, even if they give you no break whatsoever, you would still want to list them in your right. Yep. All right.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think that's correct, Teresa, and particularly because we have framed our sponsorship as being annual. I mean, that it's a correlation, like, thanks for your annual sponsorship, and you're gonna get your name in the lobby, and we're gonna give you tickets to a couple of our shows. Like, there's some arrangements we make with sponsors that are a little different than on an ongoing basis. We're looking to promote lodging in Monona. And so that could be just a permanent part of our website, regardless of the sponsorship. I think there will be some ongoing conversations with them about their sponsorship interests. They might, in addition, want to work with us to provide comp rooms to the directors. If that has a dollar value of some kind that rises to the level of a sponsor, I think our lowest one is $275 right now. So if they say, we'll give you a couple of nights of comp rooms with this room block, now they've become a sponsor and they're eligible
Got
probably
it.
to some other benefits from us.
Yeah,
Such as benefits lowercase b, but like we would do some other things in addition. So I have to look with Neil at what we need to make sure we do to honor the tourism agreement. And then in addition to that, the hotels might be also
Sure.
doing things above that we
Mhm.
also want to honor. That's how we had approached the conversation last year. Do you want to be a sponsor and what would that look like?
right,
And-
right. And then in addition to your efforts to promote tourism in Monona, promote hotel stays in Monona, that also would include short-term rentals, people that have Airbnb listing. Okay.
Yeah, I
Yep.
need to learn more about that. I mean,
Yeah.
that was outside of my, I
Yeah.
didn't even realize the. scope
Those,
of
they
that,
also
so-
pay, short-term rentals also pay room tax, which is
Oh.
where all these funds come from. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So yes, happy to do that and just need to learn a little bit more about that market and what's not obvious to me driving around Monona. You don't see them necessarily in the same way. So
Yeah.
I just got to make sure we get that done correctly. And we will.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I think
Those
Neil
are my
will
only,
provide you the pretty much the links and the logos and everything, so we have that all prepackaged for you. Is there a motion?
I can move to approve the $30,960 request.
and
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion, questions, comments? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. All right, it passes. Thank you, Carrie. Staff, any staff updates?
Just real quick, Andy, I just want to make note, we got a very nice letter from the Friends of San Damiano, thanking us, the commission for their sponsorship. Trying to find where I can share this real quick here. Oh, not that one.
I know you also shared it on your email, so.
Okay, so yeah, it was in your
We're
email,
good
so if
there.
anybody saw that, exactly. So that was, we're just a very appreciative letter with that, and I think that was really all that I had, so.
Sounds good. Our next official meeting for contract or application consideration will be on the 17th of October. So all applications are due on the 7th to City Hall. I will also add to look out for an email. I'm going to work with Neil to schedule another meeting with the commission so that organizations who have received grants already can either provide written reports, but also have the opportunity to provide oral reports back to us. So that, I think we might book it for an hour and a half or something of that sort. But if it's shorter, it can be shorter. But I just wanted to provide an opportunity for organizations to come back and report out what was done with the funds before potentially applying again for the next year.
Great idea.
And I also didn't want one meeting to also be 4 hours if we're hearing that and then also considering other applications. So look for an email about that. All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Andy,
Hold
one
on.
question.
Yeah.
Didn't think about this before, but with Neil's comments about the White Horse thank you letter that we received from that organization, thanking us for our sponsorship.
Yep.
So I guess that gets me thinking about what Carrie's group might list as their sponsors. I mean, I wonder if we should be moving forward, should we be asking these folks who apply to list us as a sponsor? I never thought about that until Neil put it in those terms.
Well, in the contract, it has us, we have to be listed as.
Got it.
I mean, they could term it something maybe different than a sponsor. It could be a
Sure.
supporter, it could be, but they have to put Discover Monona and the City of Monona logos on their materials.
Is it the City of Monona logo or the Tourism Commission?
City of Monona
Again,
Tourism
thinking about,
Commission. Yeah,
okay, just thinking about the
Tourism.
community festival and how so many people thought the City of Monona was
Yeah.
involved, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you hear, anyone hear the ad on public radio? It was the Nature Center and mentions the Tourism Commission.
Oh, wonderful,
I heard it the-
wonderful.
Well, and
Awesome.
on that note, Teresa, I'm sorry, I'm blurting in, but I will say, we get up on stage all the time and thank our sponsors, and it's
Yeah,
just as
yeah.
easy to thank our supporters.
Yeah.
If there's a technical definition, be assured that we will be very gracious about recognizing the Monona Tourism Commission. I am beyond thrilled that this went as well as it did. This is fabulous. And I was gonna put in the chat and I realized there wasn't a chat link for me. Thank you so much. And we are happy
Absolutely.
to. And in fact, if anyone wants to get up on stage during Silver Stage on behalf of the Monona Tourism Commission and have a moment to thank people for coming to Monona, Wisconsin, by God, that invitation is open as well. Especially as I find out Andy and others may have personal performance experience in their background. Someone went in on that. If Neil slips that in as a clause in the requirements that someone gets some stage time, we're here for it. We're very grateful.
I was so sad that it took Lori Naherniak just one extra year to get that all set up and ready to go, because it was supposed to be my senior year of doing it. So my therapist, that's what he's for. Anyways, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Good luck, Carrie.
everyone.
Everyone, see ya.